Let's be real for a moment. There are conversations most men never dare to have out loud, yet they linger in the back of our minds. One of those questions is simple, but it carries a lot of weight. Does shape really matter to a woman's pleasure? Now, society has fed us the same message for decades, through magazines, locker room talk, even the quiet comparisons men make with each other, that bigger must mean better, that length is the ultimate key to satisfaction. But here's the truth most women will never say to your face. Size alone is not the story. What matters far more is how well something fits, how it connects, and how it moves in rhythm with her body. Think about it. A woman's experience of intimacy isn't just about a measurement. It's about harmony. It's about pressure in the right place, a rhythm that feels like the two of you are dancing together, and above all, the emotional connection that tells her she can let go. Because the truth is, when a woman feels safe, when she feels desired, her body responds in ways that no number on a ruler could ever measure. Inside a woman's body, the front wall of the vaginal canal holds a region many refer to as the G-zone. It's not some mythical spot. It's simply an area packed with sensitive nerve endings and tissue that respond powerfully to the right kind of pressure. Here's the part that might surprise you. A natural upward curve, even a subtle one, has the ability to make contact with that front wall in a way a straight shape often can't. Think of it like trying to reach around a corner. If you go straight in, you'll miss it. But with even a gentle bend upward, the angle lines up almost perfectly, pressing against that sensitive area with each movement. And when that pressure is steady, rhythmic, and done with care, many women describe the result as not just more pleasurable, but longer-lasting, deeper, and far more memorable. But remember, the shape by itself doesn't create magic. It's not about being born lucky. It's about how you use what you have. A curve becomes powerful when it's paired with presence. When a man slows down, pays attention, and stays in sync with her breathing and her body, that's when she relaxes, opens up, and allows herself to feel everything more fully. Here's the good news, and it's something a lot of men need to hear. You don't have to be born with a natural curve to give her the same experience. What matters is not the shape you were given, it's how you use your body with awareness. With a little creativity, any man can recreate the same effect. Sometimes it's as simple as changing the angle of your hips. A small adjustment can redirect pressure exactly where it needs to go. Other times it's about using your hands or guiding her position so the rhythm lines up with that sensitive area inside. Even something as ordinary as placing a pillow beneath her hips can shift the angle just enough to hit the right spot every time. What this means is that satisfaction is never out of reach. You're not limited by anatomy, you're empowered by knowledge. And the men who understand this, who take the time to experiment and adjust, often give their partners an even richer experience than someone who relies only on what nature gave them. Because in the end, intimacy is about presence and care. It's about paying attention, noticing when her body leans into you instead of pulling away, and making adjustments that show you're listening without words. That's what turns technique into connection. You know what really stands out to women? It's not flashy moves, not bragging, and definitely not trying to prove how good you are. What truly draws her in is something far quieter. Calm confidence.
There's a kind of presence a man carries when he's not measuring himself against anyone else. He's not worried about whether he's big enough, skilled enough, or whether he looks like the guys in magazines. Instead, he shows up with the steady assurance that who he is and what he brings is enough, and women feel that energy instantly. Why does it matter so much? Because pressure kills intimacy. When a man is trying too hard, when he's chasing validation or putting on a performance, she can feel it in her body. It makes her tense up and hold back. But when he's relaxed, when he's grounded in himself, it signals to her nervous system, "You're safe here. You can let go." That's when her body opens, her sensitivity heightens, and the experience goes from mechanical to magical.
Here's something most men overlook. A woman's pleasure is not just about technique. It's deeply psychological. The truth is, her body responds to her emotions. When she feels truly connected, when she feels valued and safe, her nervous system opens the door for pleasure in ways you can't force with pure physical effort. But if she feels judged, rushed, or pressured, her body instinctively protects itself. Muscles tighten, sensitivity drops, and even the most skilled touch won't get her there. But if she feels appreciated, if she senses your patience and care, her body softens, her breathing deepens, her sensitivity multiplies. Science backs this up. When a woman feels emotionally secure, her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Oxytocin lowers stress, increases trust, and heightens her physical response. That's why the same touch can feel completely different depending on the emotional energy surrounding it.
The lovers women remember the longest are rarely the ones with the perfect body. What stays in her memory are the men who were curious, men who treated intimacy like a conversation, not a performance. Curiosity shifts the focus from proving yourself to exploring together. When you pay attention to her reactions, the way her breath changes, the way her body leans in or pulls back, you're speaking a language beyond words. And when you add something as simple as asking, "How does this feel?" it tells her that her pleasure matters. Think about it like dancing. The best partners aren't the ones who force the same moves every time. They're the ones who listen to the music, who adjust to the rhythm, who make the experience feel alive. Intimacy works the same way.
Most men, at some point, have compared themselves to others. And almost every time, the message was the same. Bigger must mean better. But here's the truth many women quietly admit. Size isn't everything. An overly long or overly thick shape can cause more discomfort than pleasure. What women consistently say matters far more is not size, it's fit, it's rhythm. It's the way a man uses what he has with sensitivity and awareness. You don't need the biggest instrument to play beautiful music. You need to know how to handle the one you've got.
Every woman is different. What works beautifully for one might feel overwhelming for another. Some enjoy deep, steady pressure. Others prefer something lighter, more rhythmic. That's why flexibility matters. Intimacy is not about memorizing a routine. It's about observing, adjusting, and treating each woman as unique. Watch the way her body shifts closer, the way her breathing quickens, the way her shoulders relax. These are her signals. When she realizes you see her, not just women in general, she trusts you more. And that trust makes everything easier, deeper, and far more satisfying for both of you.
Many women don't openly share what they want, not because they don't have preferences, but because they're afraid of being judged. That's why the men who stand out are the ones who can read the unspoken language of the body. The way her breath quickens, the softness in her eyes, or the way her muscles tense, all of it is feedback. The man who notices and adjusts without making her explain everything is the one she feels safe with. When she realizes you're tuned in without her needing to say a word, her trust deepens. And with that trust comes freedom. The freedom to feel everything more fully.
Presence, patience, and precision will take you further than any natural shape ever could. Presence means you're fully there, not distracted. Patience means you allow her body the time it needs. Precision means noticing her smallest cues and responding with care. Women remember how you made them feel far more than your anatomy. Presence, patience, and precision create the sense of being truly valued, and that is what unlocks the deepest kind of intimacy.
So let's bring it all together. Yes, a natural upward curve can be a gift. It can make things easier. It can add a little advantage. But it's not the deciding factor. The secret isn't in anatomy. It's in the awareness. It's in the way you pay attention, the way you adjust to her rhythm, the emotional connection you build, the trust you create.